Hello and welcome to the Voice of TOD. I'm Tom, and in this video we're going to talk about the... is it news? The long-rumoured, now confirmed Mass Effect TV series? I guess it's news. We're going to finally get into it. How many years was the last time we talked about a Mass Effect TV series? Anyway, let's get into it. We're over here on Variety, link in the description below if you want to check out the article yourselves. We're going to run through this and then I'm just going to go over some of my thoughts. Mass Effect TV series in the works at Amazon. Good. From Fast 9 writer. As I say, my thoughts will be coming up towards the end. A Mass Effect TV series is officially in development at Amazon MGM Studios, Variety has learned exclusively. Just a quick note, this story dropped yesterday, which was N7 Day. Yeah, I think that you could have actually made a bit more of a deal out of this. I've not seen a huge amount. I've not seen BioWare posting anything about it, but Variety usually pretty hot on. And going live on N7 Day, I kind of believe it. I absolutely can see that they've been waiting to announce whatever they've been working on for years today. So, Daniel Casey is set to write and executive produce the adaptation, with Karim Zrek, who will executive produce under his Cedar Tree Productions banner, and Ari Arad. And EA's Michael Gamble also exec producing. Cedar Tree is currently under an overall deal at Amazon MGM Studios. I would like to know what else they've done, because Amazon have been doing some really good stuff recently. Exact plot details are being kept under wraps. If you want to know some of the potential plot details, go play the first 3 games. There's a tip for you. It was previously reported in 2001 that Amazon was in negotiations to develop a Mass Effect TV series, but there have been no updates on the project until now. There has been various attempts to develop a feature film based on the games, but the project never materialized, probably for the best. The first Mass Effect launched to rave reviews in 2007. Since then, there have been 3 more games in the main series, with Mass Effect Andromeda debuting 2017. There have also been multiple mobile games in the franchise, as well as an animated film, novels, comic books, and other media. The story of the first 3 Mass Effect games revolves around Commander Shepard, a human soldier in the 22nd century trying to save humanity from a race of aliens known as the Reapers. That's a very loose synopsis, I'll give you that. Andromeda moved the games much further into the future with a new protagonist, with a 5th game also in the works. The franchise is developed by BioWare and are now published by EA, and have been for quite a few years now. Casey recently worked on the screenplay for Fast 9, or F9 The Fast Saga. He's also known for his work on films like the sci-fi drama Kin, and did rewrites on 10 Cloverfield Lane. He's repped by CAA at large and Hanson Jacobson. So, honestly, and I've already had a look at Casey's IMDb page, everything on there, he was part of a team of writers. None of his stuff is that thrilling. I'll put it that way. I haven't seen Fast 9. It might be really good, but it's a Fast and Furious film. I don't get excited about them. Never seen Kin. I did see 10 Cloverfield Lane. It was better than the 3rd one, but that's not a huge amount to write home about. I've got nothing much to say on Casey, but I will sort of touch on why that's probably a good thing later. Zrek is previously an executive in the now defunct Marvel television unit under Jeff Loeb. During his time with Marvel, he served as an exec producer on hit shows like Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, The Punisher, and Legion, among several others. And Zrek is repped by Ginsberg Daniels Callis. Arad has previously produced... Ari Arad is probably a name most people have heard of. But he's previously produced adaptations of video games Borderlands, Uncharted, and Ghost in the Shell. That's the Scarlett Johansson one. He also served as exec producer on Iron Man, Ghost Rider, and the 2006 TV series of Blade, which I don't think was bad, was it? I've never seen it, but I don't know. Right, so let's get into this then. The standout for me there is Karim Zrek, exec producer on the Netflix Marvel stuff. Look, let's be honest, Daredevil was one of the best Marvel things of its time, and probably still is. Punisher Season 1, and Season 2 was okay, but Punisher Season 1 was incredible. Daredevil Season 1 and 2 were incredible. Luke Cage Season 1 was really good. Jessica Jones Season 1 was incredible. Like, anybody who's worked on those in an exec producer role who's going into this, I have no problem with them being there. Daniel Casey, honestly, jury's out. I need to see more from him and see him actually taking the lead on something. It sounds like that's what this is. In all honesty, if he comes out and says, yeah, I'm a massive Mass Effect fan, I've played, all of Mass Effect, I absolutely adore these characters, it's one of my favourite franchises, and I'm so excited to be working on it, and I can't wait to really get into grips with, turning the plot of the great video games into a TV series, then I'm going to be quite happy. If he comes out and says, yeah, so I've never really played Mass Effect and I have no intention to, I'm going to do my own thing, this TV series is dead, dead in the water. Absolutely. So we'll see. Time will tell on that, but I'm happy to be cautiously optimistic with Daniel Casey set to as lead writer at least. Ari Arad, he has worked on he's produced some really good stuff. He's also had his name attached to some absolute stinkers. But honestly, he's a producer. His name is linked with things like Borderlands, like Uncharted. The Uncharted movie was okay. Like, Tom Holland is not Nathan Drake. He never will be, he never could be. But it wasn't a terrible movie. There's things to enjoy in there. But all Arad did was produce it. He was part of a group of exec producers. Same with Ghost in a Shell. Same with Borderlands, which is probably the worst film of the year. I'm a little more cautious because he's part of it, but I don't see it as a bad thing. I don't honestly see Arad having a huge amount of involvement in this. It's Daniel Casey is the big one for me. That's the big test. But a big plus, I think, is Michael Gambel, who is, I believe, it says EA's Michael Gambel. I believe that he's actually head of, or at least heading up, the Mass Effect 5 video game development. I'm pretty sure that is the same Michael Gambel. So that to me is already a huge green flag. Because, you've got the right guy. If you've got someone like Michael Gambel who is super invested in Mass Effect and super invested in BioWare itself getting back on its feet and seemingly doing well, he genuinely seems to want to have the best. He's really been pushing Dragon Age recently. I do believe, and this might be me being naive, but I do believe that he is the right person to bring the lore and the player side of Mass Effect to this. Again, how much his involvement will be, I do not know. If you're having somebody from the studio to consult on this, he's your man. So we've got how I see it, we've got two names that are really exciting in Gambel and Zrek. You've got one name that is whatever with Arad, and then you've got one big question mark who I really hope will surprise me. It would be nice to be surprised on a project that I love turning out to be great. But let's just touch on Amazon for a minute, right? Because Amazon, they've obviously been working this out for a while. It's been rumours that Amazon have been looking at it for a long time. Obviously buoyed by the success of Fallout. But Amazon have been really good recently. I look at Netflix and what Netflix have done. I look at Amazon and what Amazon have done. And I've been enjoying Amazon's original stuff so much more than the Netflix original stuff. Thinking of Mass Effect style TV shows, Citadel with Richard Madden, I thought was pretty good for what it was. I've just started watching the Diana one, the Italian one. Seems pretty good. Like the scripting and the choreography and everything, it flows pretty nicely. I'm not saying that this is the team that's working on Mass Effect. I'm just saying, overall, Amazon in that sort of near future sci-fi place, or the action drama TV series place that I think Mass Effect should be, have been doing really well. The absolute standout and one of the best TV shows I've seen in years is Paris Has Fallen. I've just finished watching it this week. Absolutely incredible. I will rave about that forever. It's set in Paris, but it's part of the Gerard Butler Has Fallen franchise. But it's completely separate from everything that Gerard Butler's character does. It's a incredibly done TV series. It flows, there's tension, it constantly keeps you on the edge, doesn't mess around, it doesn't pull its punches. The action is exactly what you would expect. If they are going into Mass Effect with that kind of mindset, where they're trying to do it, to the very best of their ability, and Daniel Casey is one name in the writer's room, and he is the go-to guy, and he is the guy that holds all this together, but they have writers who can write and can do all of the things. I'm sold on this. I would love to see Mass Effect in live action. I think for the depth of, and the amount of characters certainly, but for the depth of the games and the stories that are told, has to be a TV series. And I would honestly struggle how anybody competent would mess this up, because BioWare gave you the exact blueprint to follow, the characters, the story. You just need to adapt it into TV. Everything else is there. Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, forgetting the ending of 3, Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 are some of the best written, most loved video games of all time. If you mess that up, you really have problems. But I choose to be hopeful, optimistic, and I am going to wait for them to prove me wrong instead of going into this negatively. But that's my 2 cents. At the end of this, I'm going to link my Mass Effect fancast from years ago, where I went through what I would, touching on what I would do with the first season, and characters or actors who I would love to see in certain roles, and touching on a little bit of what I would hope that they would be, how much they would be part of the series. That is well out of date and probably needs updating. As we get more news on this, I'm gonna talk about this a lot. I'm a massive Mass Effect fan, and I don't know. As soon as they announced a Halo TV series, I felt ill. For some reason, I've got hope on this. I could well be wrong, and it could be another franchise that I love, where I watch a live action TV show, I watch one episode, and then I just turn it off and never go back to it. I'm trying to be positive. I'm hoping this is good. And there isn't anything in here that I look at and go, yeah, this is going to be terrible, because we just don't have the evidence either way. But let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you're, do you even want a Mass Effect TV series? I suppose is the big question. Not every video game adaptation can be bad, right? Surely. But thank you very much for watching. I'll see you all in the next one.